Hey guys, it's Brittany, and I've tried to film this video 3 times already, but I'm going to do the top 5 creepiest things that have ever happened to me. So, these are things that are kind of from my childhood, from what I can remember, all the way to the present day. Just the top 5 things I think are the creepiest that happened to me. So, if you want to know some more things about me, then keep watching. Okay, so number 1. I call this nightmare to reality. This is kind of the name I gave it. There's a bathroom in between. My room used to be the one across the hall. I did not leave this room because of this incident, but whenever I was really young, I had 2 sisters that lived in that room with me. We had bunk beds, and I slept on the bottom bunk. Younger sister slept on the top. At the time, I was probably in 3rd grade, and I was sleeping one night, and I was having a nightmare that I couldn't get up and I couldn't move, and the only thing I could do was close my eyes and breathe. So our bunk beds were kind of at the back of the room, and then the door is kind of like at the front of the room, but like our bunk beds are facing the door, if that makes any sense. And you could see laying, all I could do was turn my head, and the door was on the same wall as what my head was on. For some reason, I woke up in that dream, like I was in that dream, and I was facing the other way where usually my feet are, which is by the window. And I looked over by the door, and there's this tall black figure that was walking towards me, and I couldn't move, I couldn't get up, and I couldn't do anything. I then woke up as it got closer to me, and it was actually happening in real life. So I thought it was a dream again, but this time I could get up and I could move. I immediately got up and I ran out of the door, and I went to my parents' room. And that was probably the first creepy thing that's happened to me in this particular house. I don't remember why that happened, and I don't remember if anything was to trigger that to happen, but it was pretty creepy, and I had nightmares a lot. So I kind of figured I was still in the dream, but it turned out that I wasn't. So yeah, let's go to number 2. Okay, so number 2 I call is George. So whenever I was really young, before I even moved to the state I'm in now, I had this best friend named George, which everybody thought it was imaginary, because you know, at that age where you're like 4, 5, and 6, you know, you make up friends because maybe you don't have any or you don't feel like you can make any. But I had this friend named George, and I knew he was real. So he would tell me to do things that I shouldn't do, like cut up a book or go outside when I wasn't supposed to, like at night, and just do things I was not supposed to do. And I did them, and I lied and said I didn't do it because he told me to lie. So I was not a child who would do things deliberately without somebody telling me to do them because I thought they were good. I was the kind of child that wouldn't really lie about doing those things. Like, I would lie because I was a child and I didn't want to get in trouble. But I wasn't one that would try to lie about everything I did that I know for sure that I did. There's like a light shining in your eye, and I'm so sorry. He would tell me to do these things, and I would get in trouble for them if they found out that I was the really one who did them. And he was a boy that was my age, and he had short, brown curly hair. I don't know why he came to me, and I don't know why he was telling me those things. But the only reason I remember this is because I had a dream about it recently, which kind of ties into the present. Recently I had a dream that I was standing where we used to live. He was standing in my room, and he was telling me to cut up a book. And all I remember from that night is cutting up the book and getting in trouble. But whenever I had this dream, then everything came back to me with him. And then in that dream also he said he died. So I kind of figured trying to get in contact with me through that dream. But he couldn't leave the house that we were at. So that was number 2. Now on to number 3. Okay, so for number 3, the name I have for this one is Sleepwatcher. There's a man, I'm guessing it's a man, it has a figure of a man. He usually stays, so there's like a corner of my room right here. He usually stands right there, and my bed is that way. And right there, or he sits right there, like in a sitting position, watching me sleep. And I wake up, if I wake up and I look directly over there, I see him. And if I'm sitting on my bed and I look directly over here really fast, then I will see him. But other than that, I can't just stare at him. But I've seen him before at the corner of my eye, and I've watched him. But it's a black figure, so it takes the shape as a man. But I'm not scared of him. He doesn't harm me in any way. It's knowing that he could be there right now and I can't see them is kind of creepy. And there's also a corner over there and a corner over here that he usually stands in also. He stands in all of them, but I just feel like he watches me as I sleep to make sure nothing bad happens. So maybe he's like a relative or something. So on to number 4. So number 4 is by far the scariest one that has ever happened to me. Like, it actually terrifies me. And it's constant. So there's another lady. There's a lady that if I'm walking, like, it follows me everywhere. If I'm walking down somewhere, if I go to school, if I'm walking down the hallway, no matter where I'm at, if I look over my right shoulder really quickly, or I like go like this and I cut my right shoulder, then I will see this lady in a long coat with blood around the neck area, holding a string like a rope and long brown hair, and it absolutely terrifies me. And I try not to look over my shoulder a lot, and I try to have people make sure they're behind me, because as long as I know somebody's behind me, I know I will not see her. But it terrifies me, and I don't know why this is happening, and I don't know how it came about, but it's been happening for probably a month and a half now, and I don't see her every day, but I see her almost every single time I glance over my right shoulder, and it's creepy. Like, it terrifies me. But on to number 5. So number 5 I call is the little girl. So in the house I'm in now, we have the back door. Then there's like an expo marker. I'm holding an expo marker. Sorry. Then there is, you go through the laundry room, and then there's the kitchen. And there's a bar in the kitchen. You have to go around the bar to go in the dining room and the living room. So when the light switches, oh Lord, okay. The light switches are switched. So if you turn on the one that's in the kitchen, then turn on the dining room light. If you turn on the one that's in the dining room, then turn on the kitchen light. So the kitchen light was on one night. So I got up to get a bottle of water, and the kitchen light was on, which casted a shadow behind the dining room. And so I turned around the corner of the bar, and there was this little girl with long brown hair and a dark white, like a dingy dark long blouse. So she was looking up at me, and she was like in a moment of distress. It was very heartbreaking but very scary at the same time, because my little sisters weren't there. Like, they're not here anymore. They're somewhere else. And she was looking up at me, and it was terrifying. But yeah, that was the last scariest thing that has happened to me so far. That was the top 5 at least. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name will be right here. And you can like this video and comment down below what my next video should be, because I have ideas, but I'm not sure what you guys want to see. So if you have any suggestions or just want to comment, then comment anything down below. Like, you can rant, or I don't care, read all of them. So comment down below and subscribe to my channel, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.